Blueco have announced that they're going to be changing Chelsea's home colours from blue to red to help Jordan Henderson settle into his new environment. Tyson Adarabiyoyo has signed a 700-year deal and has announced that he will be changing his position to striker and taking the club's cursed number 9 shirt. Chelsea's new front of shirt sponsor is none other than KFC, and the Colonel's face will now be appearing in all of the shirts for the rest of time. And Mudryk has won his appeal from the ban on the doping charges and will be rejoining the squad. Believe it or not, one of those is true. Welcome, Blue Believers, to another episode of the Stamford Sync, where we are syncing up with everything Chelsea FC. And that... what does that even mean anymore? Mate, this window is wild, and it's just taken the craziest turn. Chelsea's squad has grown in number with the addition, the re-addition, the return of the prodigal son, Mudryk, who has in fact been cleared for his doping charges. So, let's get into it. Fabrizio Romano posted this: official, Mudryk is cleared to play again after doping accusations, case settled. Mudryk expected to join Chelsea in Hong Kong for pre-season tour. He's going to be available immediately. What? What is this? Oh, mate, there's so much to unpack here. So I've got a Mudryk statement and I've got Chelsea's statement as well. We're going to get onto those in a minute, but let's just talk about this for a minute. Flying Ukrainian winger Mudryk is going to be joining up with Chelsea's pre-season tour and trained with Xabi Alonso's squad. What does this mean? So is it just one, like, okay, I don't even know where to start, man. I don't even know where to start. So look, Mudryk wasn't exactly amazing before the ban. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like, oh yeah, buzzing, Mudryk's back in the squad. You know, he started scoring a couple of goals in the Conference League after a really, really dry period. Lots of different managers tried him in lots of different positions. I remember Pochettino even went for a stage of putting him in the centre of attack just to see if it works, because we spent so much money on him. And now he's back. So, Garnacho out, Mudryk in. Look, I guess if I try to be reasonable about it just for a second, him joining up with the pre-season squad, Xabi Alonso is probably going to be like, yeah, I'll take a look at him. Do you know what I mean? Surely it's got to be, isn't it? It's got to be, because you just never know. Like, maybe he can be converted into a wing back. I talked to Jay from Talking Chelsea about this the other day. It was always his footballing IQ that was the issue, right? He just had bad decision-making ability, albeit when he was instructed what to do, he's good at taking instruction. He's very, very quick, and he did have some skill and could score a decent goal. So maybe there's something in there somewhere that someone can unlock. From Chelsea's point of view, you'd have thought they'd be like, right, well, we spent 60 odd million on this guy. He was on the list. Me and Jay did a list the other day of Chelsea's 10 most expensive signings ever, and he's nestled quite far into that list. He's like 7th, I think. 7th, yeah, I think it's 7th. At 65 million. Now, I know the PR was all like, 80 million or whatever. Those were with add-ons, which obviously he never achieved. So, Mudryk's back. So, guys, like, before we get on to the rest, like, tell me what you think in the comments. Does he actually have a chance getting into the squad? Like, I don't think so, if I'm completely honest. Like, Morgan Rogers is there, obviously, for the left side now. Jamie Gittins is looking really good. Mudryk hasn't played football. How long has it been? 18 months? Nearly 2 years? Something like that. Since the ban. I can't even remember exactly when it happened. But, you know, he's 25, 26 now. Is the thing, like I say, to send him out to the pre-season tour to get him training, maybe get him to feature in a game, and then maybe see if we can loan him out somewhere, because we ain't selling him. We won't sell him because it will be too big of a loss on the books, won't it? It will be like, you know, we paid. So no, someone might come in for Mudryk for like 10 mil or something, but no one's going to be like, yeah, I'll spend 60 mil on that guy. So, you know, I can't see him getting sold anytime soon. Potentially bomb squad. Like, I hate to say it, but if he doesn't break into the squad and no one else comes in for him, like, he's probably just not going to get any game time, and Xabi Alonso will only want to train with a certain amount of players in the team. And is there a Mudryk shaped hole in that team? Like, I don't think so, but I'd love to know what you think. And guys, if you've made it this far into today's crazy episode of the Stamford Sync, please do me the distinct honour of liking and sharing the video, subscribe to the channel, or just roast me. in the comments, whatever gets you through your day. Right, so let's have a little look at what Chelsea have got to say, and then a longer look at what Mykhailo Mudryk himself has got to say. Fabrizio Romano posted this: Mykhailo Mudryk travels on Sunday to Hong Kong to rejoin Chelsea with immediate effect. Chelsea statement: we know how much this opportunity to return means to him. Our focus now is on supporting Misha's reintegration into the squad and helping him resume his career. Everyone at the club now looks forward to helping Misha return to full fitness, back into the squad and back onto the pitch. So yeah, nice from Chelsea. One way or the other, he maybe ends up in the bomb squad, and that is only, like I say, it's only because of how much he was worth. And would they take the loss on him? I don't know. I mean, it's better to take a loss on him rather than just carry on watching him depreciate at the end of the day, isn't it? But at the end of the day, that's good. Chelsea are coming out, backing him, saying, yeah, we're going to reintegrate him into the squad. Everyone's looking forward to seeing him. He wasn't a particularly disliked character or anything. And, the fans, when we bought him, we had so much want. Do you know what I mean? There was the same with Timo Werner as well. There was this real collective energy from the fans that genuinely just wanted him to do well. And the story of signing him was a fun one as well, because much like we've just done with Morgan Rogers, we hijacked him from Arsenal, because Arsenal classically had been taking a little bit of time to warm up in terms of making the bid, and we just swooped in and went, nah, we'll have him. And he was like, yeah, cool. Came to Chelsea, and he didn't set the world alight. But like I say, it was never a personality thing. It was just he just wasn't very good. Right, so next up, let's have a little look at what Mykhailo Mudryk had to say himself. Fabrizio Romano posted his own statement. After a long battle, the 4-year ban that was imposed on me has been rescinded, and I am free to resume my career with immediate effect. I am grateful that this process has reached a conclusion, that I have been cleared to return to football, and I can now look ahead to my future. This has been the most difficult period of my career. As I've always maintained from the outset of this case, I have never knowingly or intentionally taken any banned substance. My commitment to competing fairly and representing my club and country with professionalism and integrity has always been important to me. I would like to thank my family and friends for their support and belief throughout this period. I also want to express my deep gratitude to everyone at Chelsea FC, my teammates and the Chelsea supporters who have been with me throughout. I would also like to thank my legal team and others who assisted for their tireless work on my case. My focus is now on returning to football, working hard every day and making a positive contribution on the pitch. Thank you to everyone who continued to believe in me. I look forward to the next chapter of my career. So yeah, fair. I bet he's buzzing. Absolutely. Pogba's one took a little bit longer than this. I know Pogba returned to playing football, but I think it was shortened, wasn't it? But he was out for a couple of years as well. So you look at Mykhailo Mudryk's age, it's really difficult, right? Because he's missed 2 really important developmental years, more over anything else. Do you know what I mean? He's missed the opportunity to carry on growing. And would he have done that under Maresca? Would he have done that under Rossignol? Who knows? Maybe Callum McFarlane would have unlocked him and turned him into a beast. I think the interesting thing about the case was that there was never any doubt that he did take the substances. He was tested positive for these substances. His whole argument was that he took these substances without knowing, and that in itself, that's really worrying. A lot of footballers should be really, really concerned about this. If they're receiving supplements or, everything that's supposed to be above board, and their agents and the club, what did the club have to do with this? Does the club know that he was taking these supplements? Do clubs have any sort of say about what kind of supplements or things that players take in order to keep themselves fit or, help them grow? But, in a legal stance, and obviously that should be something that's looked into the future, because if this is true, Mykhailo Mudryk had these substances put into whatever he was taking unknowingly, and that's horrible. That's really, really bad. So look, if it's all true, which it seems to be because the case has been cleared and he's straight back into football, you got to feel bad for the kid, man, because it wasn't exactly like he was setting the world alight, but he's lost 2 really important years of development. And obviously had the world around him, because you just assume, don't you? You just assume, it seems unlikely that a professional footballer could be given something without knowing it, but apparently that's exactly what happened. So I guess we'll find out a little bit more exactly about how that transpired in the future. Maybe one day when he retires, he'll do a tell-all in a little autobiography or something. I'd be pretty interested to read that. But before I talk about how I feel about him as a Chelsea fan, just as a person, yeah, wicked. That's cool, man. That must have been so difficult to know you're innocent and to genuinely, can you imagine the shock when he got tested and found out that he was positive for these things? And not knowing that, you'd have been like, what's going on? It must have been so difficult for him. So absolutely fair play for him to sticking to it and his legal team fighting through and making him available to play football again. As of what it means for Chelsea, Time will tell. Only time will tell. It's definitely one of the twistier stories, because it's probably not that welcome from Xabi Alonso's perspective, because now it's another guy in the squad. Like, at least before, you just didn't have to consider him. Or maybe they knew this was going to happen and they kind of prepared for this already. I guess you would argue, based on the fact that he's going to rejoin the squad, they probably did already know this, didn't they? So, like I say, I've got a feeling Xabi Alonso probably wants to take a look at him, see if there's something he can do with him. But you'd have to think alone, somewhere, anywhere. Like, it's not even going to be a big deal, is it? Like, where he goes, just... look, I don't see him getting back into the first team. With the quality that we've brought in this season and how good the team's looking now, like, even when he was here, he wasn't fighting to be one of our better players. He was well behind the likes of Timo Werner, Mason Mount, Christopher Nkunku, do you know what I mean? Like, all of these guys. And we weren't that good then. Like, I expect us to be a lot better now than we were when Mykhailo Mudryk was in the team. And unless whatever he's been doing behind the scenes while he's been banned has turned him into some absolute sublime new style of footballer, or Xabi Alonso has the keys to unlock the potential Ballon d'Or winner that Mykhailo Mudryk was touted to be when we bought him, I don't necessarily expect him to get into the squad. So, guys, let me know what you think about Mykhailo Mudryk getting back into the squad. Like I say, for me personally, on a human level, buzzing for him. Like, that must have been so hard to have been innocent for all of that time, to have found out that you had this thing in the first place, do you know what I mean, that you didn't even know was there, and jeopardise your whole career based on someone else's decision. Like, you know, they're going to have to get to the bottom of that, aren't they? But from the squad building side, from the perspective of the kind of position that he plays, like left wing, we've got Jamie Gittins, Alejandro Garnacho's gone out. We've got, obviously, Esteval, still got Pedro Neto. You know, we got guys on the right that can play that position as well. We've got Giovanni Kenda, who's just come in. Like, I don't see a huge amount of space for him in the squad, if I'm being completely honest. So, I'd like to know what you think. Do you think that he's got a chance of getting back into the squad? Do you think the pre-season thing is just to get him some minutes and to kind of put him in the shop window for other clubs? You know, should we do something like loan him back to Shakhtar Donetsk? You know, that would seem to make sense, wouldn't it? Like, go back and play football in Shakhtar Donetsk, if they've got space for you, obviously, and for a year, get yourself back to where you are, and then we'll look at what happens in the future. Personally, like I say, I think that's probably what's going to happen. I would love to be surprised. That would be a real surprise if Mykhailo Mudryk comes out of nowhere and is like, by the way, I'm brilliant now. Or like I say, Xabi Alonso has the keys to unlock the potential Ballon d'Or winner that he was supposed to be. But yeah, I think it's unlikely. So, guys, I'm going to wrap the video up there. Just a weird one. I was not expecting to be making this video today, but it's Chelsea, man. It's Chelsea, and that is just what it is. If you've watched this video and you haven't watched my earlier one from today, I do implore you to go and check that out, because we're being linked with Lewis Hall, and supposedly we're looking to go in for both Alex Scott and Adam Wharton. So go and check it out and tell me what you think about in that video as well. Nice one, guys. Thanks very much for sticking around until the end, if you did, and I'll catch up with you all very, very soon. Take it easy. Peace.